Good morning. It did the little ding thing. It's always fun when it dings at the video appropriate time. That's the bike. But right now, I have to deliver that high chair just right up the road up here to a young lady from church who needs it. So, gonna deliver the high chair, and then I have MLT meeting, and that's most of the day. So, high chair, MLT, come home, not sure what I'm doing tonight. You guys are going to the orchard, so it's a little bit chilly today. I'm rocking my sweet throwback jacket, NBA. So I love the things that I find at estate sales and our tag sales. This is one of them, perfect for this beautiful, beautiful day. Let's make the most. So out of the meeting, I actually did not get video, but I went up to Story City, got the check from September, made a couple $100 up at the Antiques Mall, and now I'm gonna head home, eat, and I forgot, Amanda reminded me, I have a meeting back at the church at 6 for a planning meeting, so I'll be back to the church at 6. So there's that. What I wanted to really talk about today, though, which I'll do now, is last night was the first session of What Lies Between Us, which is a group study on racial healing and reconciliation. And our church is doing an internal study where we're really focusing on the people in our church. We've participated in it in the community before, but we're doing it in our church. And the thing that most of the time was spent watching a video in this first session, and it was a video on the science of race and genetics, and it really highlighted how genetically race isn't a thing genetically, that we have more in common with people that look differently than really we have in common with oftentimes with people that we look the same as. And so I pointed all that out. I wasn't terribly surprised at that because I've heard all of that before, but it was something, like, it's important, and a lot of people have never heard that before. It's a good place to start. There were some small discussions. We were in groups of 6, 7, 8 people. 70 people came out to it. It's an 8-week study, so 8 Wednesdays in a row we're going to be doing it. I'm really excited, and we were talking afterwards. I was talking with a couple of people afterwards, and one of the things that I said and that I kind of came to realize while we were there is that there was nothing new to me about what was on the video and all that stuff last night. But I think that it lays a good groundwork, and even in the short discussion time that we had, I got to learn a couple of things from people, not necessarily from the video. That was all stuff that I knew, and what I had said was that it was stuff that I knew, like, I had head knowledge of, and I think that what I really need more of is, like, heart knowledge and heart change around the topic. I think it's just one of those things that I don't know what I don't know at this point, and so I look forward to that. And one of those things that I learned that I didn't know was last night. There's a very high level professional in my group, and he is an American of African descent, and he's a black man, and he talked about, because based on something that someone in the video said, he talked about how he can't, when he dresses up, let's see, how did he say this? When he's traveling, he travels a lot. And when he wears Iowa State gear, he is automatically presumed to be a coach. And that was really interesting because the discussion, and there wasn't a ton of discussion around it, but kind of my thoughts are that it's absurd and unintentional. I think often not malicious, but it's really absurd that the default thought process is that a black man could not have made it to that high a professional level except in an athletic arena. So except for athletics, like that's the only way that a black man could be a high-level professional traveling with university gear on, at sporting events, etc. And it really opened my eyes to just like subtle things like that. And I know that I'll learn many, many more, but subtle things like that are, that can be offensive and that are just built on lies. One of the things that was talked about in the large group was like, what are the different things, like what did you learn and how did those things make, like people in your group feel? And one of the things that I had the opportunity to share, because it sounded like a couple different people in our group had said this, one of the things was, and this is especially true for me, only wanting to speak for myself, is that like it feels like in subtle ways, in obvious ways, for me it has never felt real blatant, but like I've just been lied to, just about race and other subtle things about race, whether intentionally or unintentionally by the people who did it. Like I've just been lied to. And one thing that came up about that is that I've been lied to, and someone brought up a us versus them mentality that has always been taught. And this was an American of European descent, so a white person, who had said, I come from a racist family, and it was always talked about as us versus them. And and the conversation that followed were people of color saying, that's how it was when we were growing up, though. Like, that's not exclusively from the white side of the fence. Like, it's taught that way on both sides. And what the video highlighted was that there's not really that big of a difference genetically at all. In fact, you can be almost a perfect genetic match with somebody with a way different look and skin color and all of that stuff to you, and you're in fact likely to be. And so just the main takeaways that, like, I didn't have any what I felt like were really big revelations of intelligence concerning, I think this truck behind me is gonna want to use this space, so I'm gonna go like this. Concerning like the video being a real revelation about something, or I didn't feel like the video like really I learned anything brand new from it, but definitely from hearing him say that about being presumed to always be a coach, that was surprising to me. And also the general feeling of I've been lied to about race, about what other people go through, etc. And so I'm really looking forward to getting to really dig in. I have good reason to believe that it's going to be uncomfortable, but I'm really excited to grow in that area as God has called me and us at Body of Christ Church to be multi-ethnic and to be able to be with one another in that way, and to be able to be the heart of God in that way. And what's needed is the racial healing and reconciliation. And like I said, I just don't know what I don't know. And so I'm excited about it. And I'll continue to post videos with the follow-up from my perspective and what I'm learning and how I'm growing. But I think that's going to be it for today. I've already gone on for quite a while about it, but I think that it's really good to journal, at least with a video, about how this is going and different thoughts that I'm having concerning it, just to get it out there and to make sure that it's documented. So I don't want to forget this. I want this to be a change that I do not easily forget. So that concludes this video. I have a meeting tonight, heading home now, meeting tonight, and then that's about it. Stay up.